At Bose, we've been bringing authenticity to sound in everything that we do for the last 50 years. This is perhaps the most stunning audio system Bose has ever produced. And it happens to be riding in a car. Dr. Bose made the assertion that you could create better sound in a car than in a home. He reached out to General Motors and started the conversation about what was possible. That was the beginning of a relationship between Bose and Cadillac. About once a decade, they would come to us and say, "What's the best you can do?"
No matter what size the room that we're listening in, there is always a question of where should the sound come from and where should it radiate to? But in a large space, the room is very reverberant. Our job is to make sure that every single seat in that facility gets good sound. Well, the same applies in a car. We know the acoustics of the car interior and we know exactly where the listener's going to be. We can never, in any other kind of space, exert that much control over what you're going to hear.
We borrowed technology, brought it into cars. The technology just kept marching forward and getting better and better. That started a movement. When people started to hear this stuff sounds good.
In some ways, this is a car that's built around a stereo system. You wouldn't expect that you could take, for instance, speakers from our television system to put a whole bass box underneath your feet.
You're talking about bass coming from places where you don't have to recognize where the speakers are, you just feel the impact.
We have developed tuning tools for the last more than 30 years. In fact, we even had to change and improve upon the software throughout the vehicle development process.
You have to understand that this is many years of working together with some really smart people to come up with something that's cool. I can't tell you, you just have to hear it.
It's just too easy for people to try to take life's shortcuts around more must be better and say, oh, if it's got 34 speakers and then it must be better. And our goal wasn't to set a record on how many speakers we could stick into a car. With the Panerai system and for advanced technology systems like it, we have to challenge the conventional thinking around what we do. At the end of the day, when you can sit in the car and have it take you away, and you're not worried about what it is that's creating that experience, but it just takes you to a different place. That's our end goal.